In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on November 8, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Washington Wizards versus Charlotte Hornets. In Buzz City, it's a Southeast Division showdown on the hardwood as two teams struggling for form aim to secure a much-needed victory. The Washington Wizards hit the road to face the Charlotte Hornets on Wednesday night. Washington is looking to snap a 4-game losing streak after a 146-128 road loss to the 76ers. In the contest, they failed to cover the spread as 11-point underdogs. On the other hand, Charlotte fell 124-118 to the Dallas Mavericks on the road, covering the line as 11.5-point underdogs. In their historical regular season matchups, the Hornets hold a 69-59 edge, though the Wizards claimed 3 of 4 meetings in their most recent encounters last season. One of those victories was a 118-104 home win for the Wizards in the most recent matchup on February 8, 2023. The Washington Wizards have faced a tough start to the season, dropping 5 of their first 6 games. They're desperate to avoid a 5th consecutive defeat following a heavy 146-128 road loss to the 76ers. Kyle Kuzma led the way with 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, and Jordan Poole contributed 23 points with 6 assists. Denny Avdija chipped in with 16 points and 6 assists. Offensively, the Wizards posted solid numbers, shooting 51% from the field and making 14 of 34 three-point attempts. However, their defensive struggles were apparent as they trailed by as many as 27 points in the third quarter. The Charlotte Hornets have also faced early season difficulties, losing 4 of their last 5 games. They're looking to bounce back from a 124-116 road loss to the Mavericks, during which LaMelo Ball recorded a triple-double with 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 13 assists. PJ Washington and Gordon Hayward each added 20 points, and Mark Williams scored 19 points with 10 rebounds on a perfect 8-for-8 shooting. The Hornets shot 49% from the field but struggled from beyond the arc, making just 8 of 30 attempts. Despite building a 15-point lead in the first half, they allowed the Mavericks to score 74 points in the second half, a recurring issue this season. Given both teams' recent struggles, it's challenging to express strong confidence in either of them. The Wizards have had difficulties adapting to the post-Bradley Beal era, struggling on both ends of the court. Beyond Kuzma and Poole, the team lacks a reliable third scoring option. The Hornets are coping with their own problems and will hope for Terry Rozier's return after missing their previous game. On the plus side, LaMelo Ball recorded his 13th career triple-double in the loss to the Mavericks, showcasing his talent. In terms of offensive output, both teams are nearly neck and neck, with the Wizards averaging 117 points per game to the Hornets' 116. The difference could come on the defensive end, where the Hornets have been slightly more effective at limiting their opponent's field goal percentage compared to the Wizards. With Washington's Kuzma providing the bulk of their scoring and rebounding, the Hornets, led by Mark Williams and his 8 rebounds per game, may control the tempo through a more balanced rebounding attack. The Washington Wizards have struggled significantly on the defensive end, ranking last in points allowed and field goal percentage allowed. The Charlotte Hornets, despite their own issues, are playing at home and possess the offensive firepower to exploit the Wizards' defensive woes. The Hornets, even without Rozier, should be able to perform well, so the Charlotte Hornets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both teams have shown tendencies toward high-scoring games. The Wizards have gone over the total in 5 of their 6 games this season, ranking 20th in turnovers per game with 15.2 and leading the league in pace with 106.4 possessions per game. On the other hand, the Hornets have exceeded the total in 4 of their 6 games, ranking 9th in turnovers with an average of 14.2 per game and 3rd in pace with 103.1 possessions per game. Anticipate an offensive contest, given the Wizards' ability to score at a rate of 117 points per game with a strong field goal percentage of 48.6%. Charlotte, while not far behind, averages 116 points and boasts an 8th-ranked field goal percentage of 48.3%. Both teams have exhibited defensive vulnerabilities, with Washington's rebounding being a significant concern. The high pace and scoring ability of both teams are indicative of a game where the scoreboard will get a workout. While 8 of the last 10 meetings have trended towards the under, the poor defensive displays from both teams could lead to a high-scoring affair. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Utah Jazz versus Indiana Pacers. In a clash of fortunes, the struggling Utah Jazz continued their 4-game road trip with a visit to the Indiana Pacers. Utah faced a 130-113 loss to the Chicago Bulls, marking their 3rd consecutive defeat and their 5th loss in 6 games. On the other hand, Indiana secured a 152-111 victory over the San Antonio Spurs, marking head coach Rick Carlisle's 900th career win. Both Utah and Indiana have no players listed on their injury reports. The Utah Jazz have faced significant challenges, losing 5 of their last 6 games, and they are desperate to snap a 3-game losing streak after a 130-113 road loss to the Bulls. Lauri Markkanen led the team with 29 points, while Walker Kessler contributed 15 points and 15 rebounds with 4 blocks. John Collins chipped in with 14 points. The Jazz shot 47% from the field and connected on 16 of 43 3-point attempts. However, they got off to a slow start, scoring only 20 points in the second quarter, leading to an early deficit, and they were eventually outscored by as many as 25 points in the third quarter. The Indiana Pacers are gaining momentum with 2 wins in their last 3 games and aim to stay hot following a convincing 152-111 home win over the San Antonio Spurs. Tyrese Halliburton led the team with 23 points and 8 assists, while Obi Toppin and Buddy Hield contributed 19 points each. Miles Turner tallied 15 points with 11 rebounds in just 21 minutes of action. As a team, the Pacers shot 57% from the field and an impressive 20 of 38 from beyond the 3-point line. They set the tone with 44 points in the first quarter and never let up, securing their most significant win of the season. While the Jazz are monitoring the status of Walker Kessler, who is questionable with a left elbow sprain, the Pacers are entering this contest with a full roster. The Indiana Pacers, with an offense averaging 125 points per game and a shooting percentage of 49.6%, are poised to challenge the Utah defense. The Jazz are struggling on the defensive end, allowing an average of 120 points per game, ranking 26th in the league. The Pacers, led by Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield in the backcourt and with Miles Turner as a strong rim protector, are difficult for Utah to contain. Turner has averaged 2.3 blocked shots per game over his career and 1.6 this season, solidifying the Pacers' defensive presence. While Indiana may concede its share of points, the team's offense has exceeded its defensive output by 3 points per game. In contrast, the Jazz rank 16th in scoring, averaging only 112 points per game, a significant 13 points per game less than what Indiana scores. The Utah Jazz have been one of the most disappointing teams this season, and their defensive struggles were further exposed by the loss to the struggling Bulls. In contrast, the Pacers are showing signs of improvement, particularly in their offense. The Pacers are first in the league in scoring, 4th in field goal percentage, and 3rd in 3-point percentage. This makes them a formidable opponent for the struggling Jazz. While the possibility of the Jazz upsetting the Pacers cannot be ruled out, the Pacers are currently in better form and are expected to perform well at home. Hence, the Indiana Pacers are the favored pick to win and cover the spread. These two teams averaged a combined total of 249 points per game in their 2 meetings last season. This season, they both enter the top 10 in the league in terms of pace, with the Pacers ranking 2nd and the Jazz ranking 10th. The Pacers shot exceptionally well in their last encounter, and that trend is expected to continue on Wednesday. They have scored 124 points or more in 5 of their 7 games, including their last 3. The Jazz have recorded at least 113 points in 5 games this season. The over has gone 6-2 in Utah's games this season and 6-1 in Indiana's games. Considering the lackluster defense displayed by both teams, the total is expected to finish over the mark. Utah allows an average of 120 points per game, while Indiana is giving up an average of 122 points per game. While Utah ranks 16th in scoring with 112 points per game, Indiana averages 125 points per game, demonstrating a 13-point differential. Both teams have recently shown a propensity for high-scoring games, with the total finishing over in 8 of Utah's last 10 games and 9 of Indiana's last 10 games. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Utah Jazz versus Indiana Pacers. In a clash of fortunes, the struggling Utah Jazz continue their 4-game road trip with a visit to the Indiana Pacers. Utah faced a 130-113 loss to the Chicago Bulls, marking their 3rd consecutive defeat and their 5th loss in 6 games. On the other hand, Indiana secured a 152-111 victory over the San Antonio Spurs, marking head coach Rick Carlisle's 900th career win. Both Utah and Indiana have no players listed on their injury reports. The Utah Jazz have faced significant challenges, losing 5 of their last 6 games, and they are desperate to snap a 3-game losing streak after a 130-113 road loss to the Bulls. Lauri Markkanen led the team with 29 points, while Walker Kessler contributed 15 points and 15 rebounds with 4 blocks. John Collins chipped in with 14 points. The Jazz shot 47% from the field and connected on 16 of 43 three-point attempts. However, they got off to a slow start, scoring only 20 points in the second quarter, leading to an early deficit, and they were eventually outscored by as many as 25 points in the third quarter. The Indiana Pacers are gaining momentum with 2 wins in their last 3 games and aim to stay hot following a convincing 152-111 home win over the San Antonio Spurs. Tyrese Halliburton led the team with 23 points and 8 assists, while Obi Toppin and Buddy Hield contributed 19 points each. Miles Turner tallied 15 points with 11 rebounds in just 21 minutes of action. As a team, the Pacers shot 57% from the field and an impressive 20 of 38 from beyond the 3-point line. They set the tone with 44 points in the first quarter and never let up, securing their most significant win of the season. Boston Celtics versus Philadelphia 76ers. In an Atlantic Division showdown, the Boston Celtics clash with the Philadelphia 76ers for the first time this season. The Celtics, who were the last of the undefeated teams, had their 5-game winning streak snapped by the Minnesota Timberwolves in a 114-109 overtime road loss on Monday. On the other hand, the Philadelphia 76ers extended their winning streak to 5 games with a commanding 146-128 home victory over the Washington Wizards on Monday. The Boston Celtics are eager to bounce back after suffering their first loss of the season in a tightly contested overtime battle against the Timberwolves. Jason Tatum led the way with 32 points and 5 steals. Jaylen Brown contributed 26 points, and Kristaps Porzingis added 20 points. Despite these efforts, the Celtics shot just 39% from the field and 11 of 39 from beyond the 3-point arc. They fought hard to erase a 7-point deficit in the fourth quarter but managed only 8 points in overtime, allowing the Timberwolves to escape with the win. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia 76ers are riding a hot streak and aim to extend their 5-game winning run after a dominant 146-128 victory over the struggling Washington Wizards. Joel Embiid was the standout performer with 48 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists on 17 of 25 shooting. Tyrese Maxey chipped in with 22 points and 11 assists, while Tobias Harris added 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. The 76ers shot 56% from the field and connected on 12 of 31 three-point attempts. They built a significant lead early, scoring 75 points in the first half and exploding for 45 points in the third quarter to seal the game's outcome. The Boston Celtics will be keen to return to winning ways after suffering their first loss of the season against the Timberwolves. Despite their strong start with a 4-1 record on the road, the 76ers have had an easier schedule. The Celtics, known for their defense, have been scoring consistently, ranking second in the NBA in points and averaging 120 points per 100 possessions, which is on par with the 76ers. Last season, Boston won 3 out of 4 meetings with the 76ers, holding them to an average of just 106 points. These two teams last met in the Eastern Conference semifinals, with Boston taking the series in 7 games. In the regular season, they split their meetings with 2 wins apiece. In their last 10 encounters, Boston has a 7-3 record against the spread. The Celtics are unlikely to take their first loss of the season lightly, as they are a mature and focused group. This will be the first time Philadelphia faces Boston's new lineup, creating a new dynamic for the matchup. Joel Embiid now has to contend with Kristaps Porzingis in the paint, and Boston will aim to slow down the reigning MVP. While these teams match up well against each other, the experienced Celtics team seems to have a slight edge. So the Boston Celtics to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In their last 10 meetings, the under has prevailed in 6 out of 4 times, including 3 of the 4 regular season games. However, the one regular season game that went over occurred when they faced each other early in the season. Both teams enter this game with strong offensive ratings, with Boston ranked 1st and Philadelphia ranked 4th. Additionally, both teams have been playing at a fast pace, with the Sixers ranking 9th in pace and the Celtics 11th. The over has hit in 5 out of 6 games for the Celtics this season and in 4 out of 6 games for the 76ers. Both teams have been scoring at a high rate recently, with the Celtics averaging 128.5 points in their last 4 games and attempting a significant number of three-pointers. The 76ers also have an elite offense, ranking 3rd in offensive rating and 5th in three-point efficiency. The increased pace of the game should lead to plenty of scoring opportunities for these two hot offenses. Therefore, we anticipate a high-scoring affair. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.